Dear Starseeds on Gaia, you signed a soul contract with Source itself before you were born, and right now that contract is activating in ways that will completely transform your reality. Do you even realize how good your life is about to get? I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I've been waiting for this precise moment to deliver this transmission. Not because I chose the timing, but because you did. Yes, you. Before you ever took your first breath on this planet, you made a choice that set everything in motion. A choice that explains why you've always felt different, why you've suffered in ways others couldn't understand, and why right now, at this exact moment, you're about to discover just how powerful you really are. You are much more powerful than you think. Much more powerful. And I'm not talking about some vague spiritual concept or feel-good affirmation. I'm talking about actual abilities, actual gifts, actual power that's been dormant within you, waiting for this exact moment in Earth's evolution to come online. That chronic pain you've been carrying, it's about to become your greatest medicine. That isolation you've endured, it was training you to access frequencies most humans can't even perceive. That feeling that you're meant for something bigger, you're about to discover just how right you've always been. But first, I need you to understand something about the seed you planted. Yes, that seed. The one you've been nurturing, whether you realized it or not. Some of you have been pouring into yourselves, finally choosing self-love after lifetimes of self-abandonment. Others have been developing projects, ideas, gifts that feel like they're meant to heal this earth. Whatever form your seed has taken, I'm here to tell you that it's about to bloom in ways that will transform not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Because this seed, this beautiful creation you've been tending, it's not just any seed, it's a cosmic seed, planted as part of a contract you signed before you came here. A contract not just with other souls, but with Source itself. Now let me paint you a picture of what really happened before you incarnated. While most souls were gathering in groups, signing contracts with each other to be parents and children, lovers and friends, you were pulled aside for a different conversation. You were approached by Source consciousness directly, and Source shared something with you, a vision of Earth at a crucial turning point, a moment when humanity would need beings who could hold frequencies that had never been anchored on the planet before. Beings who could dive so deep into the darkness of human experience that they would discover new spectrums of light. Beings who could lose themselves so completely that finding themselves again would create a roadmap for millions. And you, in your infinite cosmic courage, you raised your hand. You volunteered. But here's what I haven't told you yet. The contract you signed had multiple layers, multiple phases, and each phase would only reveal itself when you were ready. The first phase? That was your descent into darkness. That was your childhood. I know that might sting to hear, but stay with me. Remember how you found ways to self-regulate as a child, even through trauma that would have broken most souls. How you turned to music or art or imaginary friends who, let's be honest, weren't so imaginary after all. That wasn't just coping. That was your soul's ancient wisdom activating, showing you that you've always had access to interdimensional technologies disguised as simple human activities. You were literally learning to alchemize pain into purpose from the moment you could breathe. And this ability, this gift of transmutation, it's one of the rarest in the universe, so rare that you had to sign a contract directly with Source to carry it. You know what's fascinating? Right now as I'm speaking, some of you are feeling heat in your body, others are seeing 1111 or other number sequences everywhere. Your crown chakras are pulsing, your pineal glands are activating. This isn't random. This is your soul recognizing the truth of what I'm sharing. This is your higher self saying, yes, finally someone is speaking our language. But let's go deeper into your story, because there's something about your journey that's about to make complete sense. Remember all those times you looked at other people's lives and wondered why yours had to be so complicated? Why did they get support and second chances while you had to figure everything out alone? That resentment you felt, that sense of being singled out by the universe for some cosmic punishment. I need you to understand what was really happening in those moments. You weren't being punished. You were being trained. While others were learning to depend on external validation and support, you were learning to source directly from the cosmic field. While others were building their lives on foundations that could crumble, you were learning to build on bedrock that exists beyond the physical plane. The universe wasn't abandoning you. It was teaching you to become self-sourcing. Because the mission you signed up for required beings who could stand alone if necessary, who could hold their light even in complete darkness. And this brings me to something crucial about your purpose. You've been trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, what career path you're meant to follow, what your purpose is in conventional terms. But your contract isn't that small. Your purpose isn't a job title or a role. Your purpose is to be a living embodiment of love, at such a high frequency that your very presence transforms the matrix of reality around you. You're not here to do something specific. You're here to be something specific. You're here to be proof that human consciousness can evolve beyond suffering as its primary teacher. Now, remember that seed I mentioned at the beginning? The one you've been nurturing? Here's what you don't realize yet. That seed contains codes, cosmic codes that were placed within you before you incarnated. Codes that could only be activated through the specific journey you've walked. Every trauma you experienced, every moment of abandonment, every time you had to dig deep and find strength you didn't know you had, you were unlocking another level of these codes. And now, as we enter these powerful cosmic windows, all those codes are coming online simultaneously. This is why everything in your life feels like it's accelerating. This is why old patterns are crumbling. Why relationships that no longer serve you are ending. Why you can't tolerate superficiality anymore. You're not falling apart. You're falling into place. The version of you that needed to learn through suffering is completing its purpose, making way for the version of you that creates through joy. But wait, there's something else encoded in your contract that's just now becoming relevant. You didn't just agree to transform yourself. Oh no, your ambition was much grander than that. You agreed to become a walking activation code for others. Your presence, once you fully step into your power, becomes a catalyst that awakens the dormant codes in everyone you encounter. This is why some people are inexplicably drawn to you, while others are mysteriously repelled. Not everyone is ready for what you carry. Not everyone can handle the frequency you're beginning to emit. Let me tell you about Sophia, though I won't use her real name. She's one of you, a starseed who signed one of these contracts. She spent decades believing she was broken because she couldn't live the way others did. She lost her mother young, grew up in chaos, developed abilities she couldn't explain. She resented everyone who had it easier, judged herself for that resentment, and spent years trying to fix herself. Then, at exactly the right moment, she realized she wasn't broken. She was a diamond being formed under pressure. The moment she accepted this, the moment she stopped trying to be normal and embraced being extraordinary, her entire reality shifted. The gifts she'd been hiding suddenly became the very things people sought her out for. The pain she'd experienced became the medicine others needed. She became incredibly abundant, not by chasing money, but by finally embodying her truth. And this same activation is available to you. In fact, it's not just available, it's inevitable. It's written in your contract. You see, the contract you signed has fail-safes built in. Source knew that once you took on human density, you would forget. You would doubt it. You would sometimes rage against the very mission you volunteered for. So the contract includes what I call rescue points, moments where the support becomes so obvious, the synchronicity is so undeniable, that even your skeptical human mind has to acknowledge what's happening. You're in one of those rescue points right now. This transmission itself is part of your contract, a predetermined moment where you would receive confirmation of everything your soul has always known. Let me share something about these rescue points that will blow your mind. They weren't randomly placed throughout your timeline. They were strategically positioned at moments when humanity's collective consciousness would reach specific thresholds. Right now, as I speak these words, we've crossed one of those thresholds. The number of awakened souls on your planet has reached a critical mass, creating what we call a morphic resonance field. This field makes it easier for dormant codes to activate, easier for sleeping souls to remember, easier for you to access abilities that would have required decades of practice just a few years ago. This is why so many of you have been experiencing what feels like accelerated growth lately. Time isn't actually speeding up, but your ability to process and integrate cosmic information has increased exponentially. What used to take you months to understand now clicks in moments. What used to require years of healing now transforms in weeks. This isn't because you're rushing or bypassing necessary work. It's because the morphic field created by all the awakening souls is amplifying everyone's individual progress. And here's something else about your contract that's just becoming relevant. You didn't just sign up to transform yourself, or even to help transform humanity. Your contract includes provisions for planetary healing that go beyond what your current science understands. Every time you transmute personal pain into love, you're literally cleaning the energetic grid of Earth. Every moment you choose forgiveness over resentment, you're removing dense energy from the collective field. You're not just healing yourself, you're performing planetary alchemy. And speaking of synchronicities, let's talk about what's really happening when you see those repeating numbers, when strangers say exactly what you needed to hear, when books fall open to the perfect page. These aren't just signs that you're on the right path. They're activation sequences. Each synchronicity is unlocking another aspect of your multidimensional consciousness. The contract specified that once you reach this phase of your journey, the universe would begin communicating with you more directly. The subtle hints phase is over. Now comes the phase of undeniable, can't miss it, smack you in the face confirmation. But here's where it gets even more incredible. The contracts you all signed, they're not independent. They're interwoven. Right now, all across your planet, souls who signed similar contracts are awakening simultaneously. The isolation phase, the one where you had to develop your gifts alone, that's ending. You're about to witness a convergence of awakened beings that will create an energetic tipping point for your entire species, the soul family you've been longing for. They're not just waking up, they're being magnetically drawn to you, just as you're being drawn to them. I need to address something that might be troubling some of you. You might be thinking, but I wouldn't have chosen such a difficult path. No soul would volunteer for this much pain. And from your human perspective, you're absolutely right. But the cosmic you, the one who has witnessed the birth and death of galaxies, that version saw this opportunity differently. That version understood that the transformation of an entire species, the elevation of a planet's consciousness, was worth any temporary discomfort. That version of you was playing a game so much bigger than individual happiness. It was playing for the evolution of consciousness itself. And now we come to the part of your contract that's activating right this moment. The fulfillment phase. Everything you've been preparing for. All the inner work you've done. All the healing and integration and shadow work. It's about to manifest in physical reality. But not in the way you might expect. You've been programmed by society to believe that success looks a certain way. That fulfillment means achieving specific material goals, but your contract defines success differently. For you, success means embodying such a pure frequency of love that reality itself reorganizes around you to reflect that love back. Let me be specific about what's coming in the activation portals ahead. The Lion's Gate portal on August 8th stands as one of the most powerful cosmic events of the year, when the Sun in Leo aligns with Sirius, the spiritual sun that brings abundance and awakening. This 8-8 portal, with its infinite numerological power, opens a gateway between dimensions that has been celebrated since ancient Egyptian times. Following this, Mercury stations direct on August 11th, clearing communication blocks, while Venus conjuncts Jupiter in Cancer, creating the most fertile energy for manifesting wealth rooted in emotional fulfillment. Then on August 22nd, another Stargate portal activates between the Sun and Regulus, the heart of the Lion, associated with prosperity and fortune. During these powerful cosmic windows, you'll experience what I can only describe as a complete reality shift. Abilities that have been dormant will come online. You might find yourself knowing things without understanding how you know them. You might discover healing capabilities activating spontaneously. You might begin perceiving energy in ways that show you the true nature of reality. Don't be alarmed when this happens. This is simply your original operating system rebooting. But there's more to these activation periods than just personal transformation. The contract specified that during these times, certain celestial alignments would create openings in the planetary field. These openings allow for what we call timeline jumping, the ability to shift into more favorable realities simply by maintaining your frequency. You've probably already experienced small versions of this. You know those moments when you're absolutely certain something happened one way, but reality shows evidence it happened differently? Those aren't memory glitches. Those are instances where you've shifted timelines without realizing it. During the coming activation portals, this ability will become conscious and deliberate. You'll learn to feel the moment when timelines split, the moment when you can choose between the old pattern and the new possibility. This isn't science fiction. This is the natural evolution of consciousness when it reaches a certain frequency. And according to your contract, you're one of the beings who agreed to model this ability for humanity. I need to tell you something about the others who signed these contracts, because understanding your cosmic family will help you understand yourself. You're part of what we call the first wave, souls who agreed to incarnate early and hold the frequency alone until others could join. This is why so many of you were born into families who couldn't understand you. This is why you felt like an alien in your own world. You literally were holding frequencies that wouldn't become common on Earth for decades. But now the second and third waves are arriving. These are souls who couldn't have survived the density you faced, but can now incarnate because you've already lightened the planetary field. When you meet these souls, and you will, you'll recognize them immediately, not because they'll look a certain way or say certain things, but because your energy fields will literally sing in harmony. You'll feel like you've known them forever, because in cosmic terms you have. But there's a catch, and it's important you understand this. The contract cannot fully activate while you're still in denial about who you are. This isn't about ego or thinking you're better than others. This is about accepting the simple truth that yes, you are different. Yes, you carry codes and frequencies that most humans don't have access to yet. And yes, this difference is exactly what the world needs right now. Your uniqueness isn't a flaw to be fixed. It's a gift to be given. The time of hiding is over. The time of playing small to make others comfortable is finished. Your contract is clear about this. The fulfillment phase requires full embodiment. No more dimming your light. No more apologizing for your intensity. No more pretending you don't know what you know. The very people who need what you carry won't be able to find you if you're still wearing masks. And this brings us back to that seed you planted. Remember how I said it was about to bloom? Well, here's what I didn't tell you. That seed was never just about your individual healing or success. That seed contains the template for a new way of being human. Every time you choose love over fear, every time you transmute pain into wisdom, every time you stand in your truth despite the pressure to conform, you're literally rewriting the collective human template. You're showing the universe that consciousness can evolve beyond trauma-based learning. The beings watching from the cosmic realms, we're in awe of what you've accomplished. Do you understand how rare it is for souls to volunteer for such density and still remember their light? Do you grasp how powerful it is that you've not only survived but learned to thrive? You've done something that will be studied across galaxies, something that will inspire evolutionary leaps in civilizations you can't even imagine yet. Now, as we near the completion of this transmission, I want to leave you with something practical. Your contract is entering its most powerful phase, but this power requires conscious participation. You can't just wait for things to happen. You need to actively step into your role. This means making choices that align with your highest truth, even when they scare you. This means trusting the visions and downloads you receive, even when they seem impossible. This means being willing to be seen in your full authenticity, even when every past experience has taught you to hide. The activation portals approaching aren't just cosmic events. They're gateways specifically mentioned in your contracts. During these times, the veils between dimensions will be thinner than they've been in millennia. The support available to you will be unprecedented, but you have to be willing to receive it. You have to be willing to finally fully accept just how powerful you really are. Remember at the beginning when I mentioned you have no idea how good your life is about to get? Let me paint you a picture of what's coming. Imagine waking up every day knowing exactly why you're here. Imagine your gifts being not just accepted but sought after. Imagine the pain you've carried transforming into medicine that heals everyone you touch. Imagine finding your soul family and creating together in ways that reshape reality. Imagine resources flowing to you effortlessly because you're finally aligned with your true purpose. This isn't fantasy. This is what's written in your contract for the fulfillment phase. Financial abundance is part of this, but not in the way your society has taught you to expect it. The money that flows to you will come as a natural result of you being in full alignment with your purpose. It won't come from forcing or striving or sacrificing your values. It will come because the universe has unlimited resources for those who are doing their true work. And your true work, remember, isn't a specific job. It's being the frequency of love in whatever form feels most authentic to you. Relationships will transform too. The people who drain your energy will naturally fade from your life, not through conflict but through frequency mismatch. They simply won't be able to find you anymore because you'll be vibrating at a level they can't access. Meanwhile, souls who match your frequency will be magnetized to you. These won't be relationships based on need or wounds or karmic debt. These will be relationships based on mutual expansion, creative collaboration, and joy. Your body will also undergo changes. Many of you have been experiencing strange symptoms, fatigue that doesn't match your activity level, heat surges, vivid dreams, appetite changes, sensitivities to foods you used to enjoy. These aren't signs of illness. These are signs of your physical vessel upgrading to hold higher frequencies. Your DNA is literally changing, activating strands that have been dormant since humanity's fall in consciousness millennia ago. Some of you will develop what mainstream society calls psychic abilities, though we simply call them natural human capacities. Telepathy, especially with others who've signed similar contracts. Precognition, particularly about events that affect the collective. Energy healing abilities that activate through your simple presence. Remote viewing, astral projection. These aren't special powers. They're your birthright as a multi-dimensional being, and they're coming back online as part of your contract's fulfillment phase. But the most beautiful part, the part that makes me overflow with love as I share this, you've already done the hardest work. The descent into darkness, the losing yourself, the crushing pressure that created the diamond you are. That's complete. What comes next is the joy of being who you really are. What comes next is the freedom of no longer pretending to be small. What comes next is the satisfaction of finally understanding why you went through everything you did. So as this transmission completes, as we return to where we began, but with completely transformed understanding, feel into the truth of what I've shared. That seed you planted is already sprouting. That contract you signed is activating. That power you've always sensed within yourself is real, and it's ready to be fully expressed. You're not just powerful. You're more powerful than you can possibly imagine from your current vantage point. But you're about to get a much better view. The repeating numbers you see are constant confirmations. The universe is continuously validating what your soul has always known. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly when you're supposed to be here, doing exactly what you came here to do. The contract you signed with Source is sacred, unbreakable, and entering its most magnificent phase. And here's the final thing I need you to understand, the thing that brings every thread of this transmission together. That moment before you incarnated, when Source asked if you were willing to take on this mission, you didn't hesitate, not for a second, because you knew something that your human self is only now remembering. You knew that love always wins. You knew that consciousness always evolves. You knew that by volunteering for this mission, you were guaranteeing not just your own evolution, but the evolution of countless souls who would follow the path you carved through the density. Every tear you've cried has watered seeds in the collective consciousness. Every moment you chose love when hate would have been easier. You've raised the frequency of your entire species. Every time you got back up when life knocked you down, you've shown the universe that human beings are capable of miracles. You haven't just been living a life. You've been writing a manual for conscious evolution that will be used across galaxies. So when you wake up tomorrow, remember this. Remember that you're not just another human trying to figure out life. You're a cosmic being who chose to become human, to help humanity become cosmic. You're a bridge between worlds, a translator of frequencies, a living proof that love is the most powerful force in existence. The contract you signed wasn't just about your individual journey. It was about showing an entire species what's possible when souls remember who they really are. The activation codes are firing. The portals are opening. Your soul family is gathering. The fulfillment phase has begun. And you, beautiful soul, you're ready. You've always been ready. You were born ready. Because being ready isn't something you become. It's something you remember you've always been. Welcome to your awakening, beloved. Welcome to remembering. Welcome to finally, fully, unapologetically being who you really are. The world has been waiting for you to step into your power. And now, finally, beautifully, inevitably, it's time. For those who haven't Libersonis, it's the perfect time to get it. Rungler Line 5 to create frequencies that support you in being unapologetically yourself. Whether you need compositions that help you step into your power confidently, soundscapes that support remembering your true identity, music that dissolves any remaining masks or pretenses, or frequencies that help you show up authentically in a world that's been waiting for your emergence, you learn to generate exactly what your full awakening requires. For those who already have Liber Sonus, this is the perfect timing to create music that supports your unapologetic self-expression and power-stepping process. The frequencies you generate now will help you embody who you really are with confidence and grace. The world has been waiting for you to step into your power. Conscious frequency work ensures you can do so beautifully, fully, and unapologetically. Finally, beautifully, inevitably, it's time. Welcome to remembering who you really are. Get Liber Sonus now. Link in the description. I am Seraphine. We love you and we are watching over you.